So guys, today what I'm gonna do is I'm going to rip the Plastidip off of the wheels. So I've Plastidip these quite some time ago, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and respray the wheels. I'm gonna paint them. I don't know if you guys remember the old color I used to have my old car wheels at. So there was like a gunmetal gray, so gunmetal and gunmetal is what it's gonna be. And if I decide that I don't like it, I'll just Plastidip them again. But I think it'll look good. But yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rip this off, and then some of the wheels do have some old rash left over. This one's fine. This one got like a little chip in it a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead, and what we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead and rip the Plastidip off. If you guys remember, they're gloss black underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and scuff up the black, and then we are going to paint them the gunmetal that's also in the oh, I didn't bring my keys. That's also I use for the door switches. So if you guys have been rocking with me for a while, you guys would have seen those colors. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and rip the Plastidip off these wheels. I might do a little time lapse of that, and then we are going to go ahead. I think I'm gonna take it to a car wash and basically spray some of the and then I'm gonna take it to a car wash and spray some of the Plastidip's dip dissolver into this, the dip your car dip dissolver. I'm gonna spray it into the lug nut holes and then pressure wash them out. That way there's no residue of Plastidip anywhere, and that way we can get the best finish possible for these wheels. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started ripping off the Plastidip. I'll time lapse a little bit just so you guys can see, and then we'll get to the car wash. Alright guys, so as you can see, the wheels are all, the dip is all off them. Now they're like a little dusty. So before I go take it to the car wash to get cleaned, what I'm going to go ahead and do is try to address all of this, the little slight curbage that's on the wheels. Right now I'm using a 120 or 180 grit sandpaper from 3M. You can use a 220 or maybe even like a 500 if it's not too bad, but I'm gonna use the 180, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna hit it with 500, and then I'm gonna hit the whole wheel with a 800 grit sandpaper, and then they should be scuffed up enough. All right, they should be scuffed up enough to have the paint or primer adhere to the surface. I'm just gonna try to scuff it up so I don't have to apply so much primer, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and take it to the car wash. So I'm gonna go ahead and start here at this little corner and just work my way around. Don't need to wet sand or anything like that, because you're just trying to break down all the metal smooth and get all of the little scratching out. Alright guys, so I'm back at the house. I cleaned the car. I did not get to film anything because I was talking to some girl for quite a couple hours, and I just caught up with all my time. But anyways, so back onto the car here. So I got home and I took the front wheels off. I'm gonna do the 2 wheels at a time. So I'm gonna do the front wheels first. Also, the reason I'm doing that is because once I start taking off the wheels, or once I take off the front wheels, I'm gonna go ahead and do the brakes on the front, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get these. So these wheels are already being cleaned. There is some residue of Plastidip that I couldn't get out for whatever reason, which I'll probably go back and I'll take that out in a second. But I wiped down the wheels for the most part with rubbing alcohol, just to get down all the contaminants, all the oils in your fingers and stuff like that. Rubbing alcohol is good for that because it evaporates very quickly. As you guys can see, when I sanded them, you want to leave it to have like a dull finish on the wheels,
because you don't want to take off all the paint. Well, like as you can see right here, this is still a little shiny, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit that with some probably a scuff pad, get that back to dull like the rest of the wheel is, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply some primer over the wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and scuff that up, and then I'll prime it, and then I'll let you guys know how it looks once it's primed. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I primed the wheels only in the areas where there was like some bare metal showing, because you do not always have to put primer down as long as you have a base of, let's say, like paint coverage. So like, as for example, the wheel was already painted, so you can just scuff that up and the new paint will adhere to the old paint, almost using it like a primer. Okay, so just covering up all the bare metal. If you have sanded through or you have like some curb damage or something like that, you cover that up with some primer. Then the paint has something to adhere to other than just bare metal. So I went ahead and I primed everything that needed to be primed. I put some note cards all around the wheels, that way you can get around the edges, and it's a little quicker than using paint. Covered up the nipples on the fill, like the valve stems. And also, one thing that I learned from, I believe, Chris Fix, is he made a thing where he said that he puts tire gel on the tires to make sure that any overspray doesn't stick on and just wipes right off, which is true. So I go ahead and I do that as well. So go ahead and do that as well. Also, quick tip, when you are painting your wheels, I'm not painting my center caps, but when you are painting your wheels, make sure that you take out the center cap, because it just looks a lot better when you paint the wheel itself. And then if you want to paint the center caps, paint them separately. It just looks a lot better that way, and you get coverage in the inside of that center cap area. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the brakes on the car. I probably won't film any of that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And yeah, I'll check in a little later when I start to paint. Alright guys, so I completely got caught up with what I was doing, and now I finished the brakes on the car. I was having some trouble with that, and I ended up painting the wheels. Sorry I didn't get a time lapse doing it, but I painted the wheels and I already put a clear coat over them. I think they look pretty good. One of the cards slipped up right here, and I got paint like on the tire, but I don't think it's too bad. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to mess with it right now because the clear coat probably is still a little wet, but I think you could address that with a little the Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal to address. So yeah, these are what the wheels are going to look like. Kind of a lighter tone than the car itself. In certain areas of the wheels, as you guys can see, like, you kind of can't see it on the camera, but like, let's say like right here, for example, right, on this, like this certain angle, right there, it looks a little darker than the rest, and I believe that's because of the pearls that are in the paint that like they kind of stack up like in one area, so that kind of causes that splotchy look to it. But in person it doesn't really look that bad unless you're really like looking for it, which you won't really find it that hard. You probably you'll find this freaking pothole damage before you find that, honestly. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. All the edges are looking really clean, and the whole trick with the tire gel really worked out. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount these to the car, and then I got to get the back one started. I'll probably just catch up with you guys once I'm all done with everything. Alright guys, so this is the final look on the car. Thank God this camera is actually pretty decent on low light, but so this is what they look like. So it's almost the same color. I think the wheels came out just a slight bit lighter. Some of you guys might think it's darker, I don't know. You guys let me know down below, but this is what the final thing looks like. You can't really tell on this side, it's kind of like murdered out, but I'll go over here, show you the full car here, or try to. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and comment below for those 2 video requests that I did, to see if you guys would like that. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching so much, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.